bodies that were involved with some of these crashes, also some were alive. I've been involved where we have recovered these objects. We know them to be of extraterrestrials.
I founded the Paradigm Research Group in 1996 exclusively to pursue the political resolution of the UFO ET issue. Paradigm Research Group then became the first organization to register as a lobbyist with the United States Congress regarding the UFO ET question. And then in 1999, PRG founded its Political Action Committee, X-PAC, the first PAC to ever address this subject. In 2002, I ran for Congress. Then in 2004, launched the X Conference, which was the first conference specifically centered on the political implications of the UFO ET issue, what we now call exopolitics. And we've had 5 X conferences. The next one will be, in fact, hopefully in April 16 through 18 in Gaithersburg, Maryland, near Washington, 2010. In 2008, founded the Exopolitics World Network and the Exopolitics United States Network. These are created specifically to help expand the disclosure movement worldwide, bringing more countries, formalized networks between countries as well as formalized networks in the United States. We have now, I think, about 7 states and about 18 countries, and there's several states and several countries coming on board soon. And probably the most important initiative of all is the current ongoing one, and that is Million Facts on Washington. So that's the sum and total of what I've been doing. This involves, of course, networking with hundreds and hundreds of other researchers and activists, and worked with other projects and facilitated other groups. A couple of reporters, including Billy Cox of the Sarasota Herald Tribune, he's written more as a reporter on the subject than any other reporter in the world. He's tried several times to get the White House press corps to call him and respond to him about that correspondence. They refused to talk to him. And the reason is simple. If they did, they would have to answer questions. And so this is an easy political decision for those who have the courage and the wisdom, the foresight to see what's going on in this world. But if they don't, if they cloister in Washington in their little cubby holes and their closets and their, their pet-a-terres and their mistresses' apartments and whatever, and refuse to look out the windows and refuse to take phone calls or answer their email and come up with more policies that are steeped in the 19th century, then this country will continue downward, and we will not get the truth about the extraterrestrials until another country tells us the truth. And that could happen, frankly, at any day. There are several countries that seem to be really itching to make a move on this subject. But it is my opinion that John Podesta has, and will play a very important role in this upcoming event and the path to it. And the event, of course, I'm referring to as disclosure with a capital D. It is simply the acknowledgement of the ET presence formally by government, meaning they're here, live with it. That's it. That's disclosure. It's not bringing out bodies and saucers and equations and new tech and energy. All that stuff happens after disclosure takes place and can't happen until after disclosure takes place. But disclosure is coming, and it will be the most important event, most profound event in human history. About a dozen nations have jumped on the disclosure train. And these other nations are all ready to move on with civilization, sort of like there were people during the 1600s that wanted to move on with civilization. They wanted to sort of start studying the universe and the heliocentric solar system, whereas the church was inclined to push the Earth-centric solar system, and so there was kind of a disagreement there. Ultimately, of course, truth won out. Truth always does. The first country to truly break ranks was France, which in 2000 issued a special report by a non-governmental governmental committee called the Cometa Report. And it was about the ET issue and our response, the human response to it. This report was issued by a group that was made up of virtually all former military, intelligence, and agency and national defense people. And then the UK jumped on board and started a time release of thousands of documents, which it's doing to this day, in a very clever way, so that every so many months it releases more, creating a whole bunch of new news articles, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And then Sweden jumped on board. Denmark jumped on board. Canada had been releasing for about 3 years to a website, so Canada's on board. Not too long ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago, the Russian Navy released a whole bunch of files on their underwater and water-related UFO encounters.
Oh, yeah.
Saucers seen leaving and entering the water and traveling underwater 200 miles an hour. So China may have just gotten on board the disclosure train because there have always been sightings in China. Recently there have been major sightings, and then very much like the Mexico eclipse in 1991, a significant UFO sighting during an eclipse in Mexico, in China, seen by millions and millions of people, and lo and behold, the Chinese government allowed it to be announced that one of their main observatories filmed the entire incident for 40 minutes, and they will be studying that film extensively. It looks like China's on board. And then, even though the Japanese people were aware of her interest, I'm referring to the new coming First Lady, of Japan.
Yes.
They elected her husband. And immediately, even though he could have prevented it, a book was published in which she announced that she has been in contact with extraterrestrials, she thinks, and has been even taken places. She thinks Venus, maybe Japan, has just jumped on the disclosure train. So there are other countries involved, too. Edgar Mitchell will play a major part in disclosure. He has been speaking clearly on this issue for 10 years, precisely limiting his remarks to what he knows. And what he knows is his conclusion based upon what he has been told and seen, and the fact that he's a highly educated, intelligent man with a PhD in astronautics, is that the extraterrestrial presence is real, Roswell happened. And he's been saying it over and again. It's starting to get a lot of attention. And the same is true for Gordon Cooper, who was convinced the extraterrestrial presence was real. He had seen things. Dr. Brian O'Leary, Dr. Story Musgrave. There are a couple others that, one in particular I know that it said that the thing is real, but will never say anything publicly about it. All right? Look, it's out there. It's there. But I can't write those faxes for people.
Yeah, I understand.
They've got to decide, are they ready to have the truth or not? Do they want competent government or not? Do they want to know about the ETs or not? Do they want that ET tech in their world to help solve their problems and provide them hopefully much cheaper energy and extraordinary transportation, perhaps, and improve the business climate? Do they want this stuff or not? If they don't, if they just want to be lied to for the rest of their life, then don't do anything. But if they want these things, they've got to do something.
Yeah.
This can be done on their computer. It takes 30 minutes and costs 42 cents. Right? Now, they want the truth or not. I can't be clearer than that. I'm not begging here. I'm really insisting.
No. Yeah, we understand.
Do something, people. Send this correspondence to the White House press corps, and if you send enough, those reporters are going to start asking some questions. If you got a Facebook, call all your email.
Yeah.
Send a message to all your Facebook friends.
Yep.
Tell them to go to Fax. Oh, by the way, there is a Million Facts in Washington Facebook group. You can join it.